YouTubers, how you doing? Bob Augusto here at Shoulda Coulda Woulda. Well, I was back in the garage today. I did some work on the GL1800. First part of multi-installments for doing this bike. Today was the air filter. Required taking a lot of parts off the bike. That's a big bike. It's an involved process. It's not a skill level one, but it's well worth it. Came up with a couple of surprises as we were doing this, unexpected surprises. I'll show you what we did and how we worked through it, how we fixed it going forward. This will be a multi-installment, so also in this project I'm going to take a look at the steering head bearings. I'm going to be doing some oil changes, some fluid changes, some coolant changes, and that's all part of getting this thing ready. I've also ordered some Centromatic wheel balancers. I'm going to be putting that on the bike, and I also got a fork brace. So those are all upcoming projects. Those are still out there. They're being ordered as we speak. Those should be coming soon. So that's probably maybe like a next week deal. I don't need to get into the bike like I did today. When we get that, well, you'll see for yourselves. You'll see for yourselves. And without further ado, let's get started with this. Okay. That's our first take. All right, time to get started. So I actually got a head wearing GoPro on a head strap, and I have one on a tripod. I'm not doing anything fancy with. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy with the audio this time. I think between what I got on this GoPro, oh, I got nothing on my head now. Hold on. Probably would help if I turned the mic on the 3+ black. So I got a 3+ black on my head. I had it set with my center. I'm going to use that as POV. Because I was getting tired of holding the camera. Last project I did, it was just all creaky weaky with the volume and stuff. So I'm going to take the seat off. First piece. That's important. Get that done. Like I said, we got to go real deep into this bike in order to get to the air cleaner, air filter, and don't know when it's ever been changed. So it's a new bike to me. The maintenance I've done to it has been at a minimal. I've done an oil change on it, and I checked all the fluids. And they all look good to me as far as clarity and all that, so I never changed everything out. But the thing is, this is my first full-blown year. I think I'm going to do a comprehensive fluid change on it. So there you go. So the seat's unbolted. This is not a stock seat. This is a Mustang seat. I'm going to pull it up here. I'm not even sure if I'm getting enough light here. Lift it. Drop this back down, and out you come. There's a connector here, and that needs to come out. I'm going to need to put some light in here. I have a feeling there's not enough. And that's it. So the seat's out. Next step, we're going to take the side covers off. I'm going to open the side cases here because I think that's the easiest way to access it. Getting that light to set up, because it was a Benny Hill moment, that's for sure. If anybody knows who Benny Hill is anymore. Okay, so we got to take the side cover off. Basically, you pop it. It's all pop and go. Uno. So we got that out of the way. This is a big, big bike. Well taken care of, though, I gotta say. I can go ahead and start pulling this crap off, or I can pull this crap off. Now, I've never taken this off. I've seen it done, but I've never done it. So let's go ahead and do that. Basically, I see you're gonna come up under here, lift that out of the way. I can't see why that would affect anything. Maybe it does, who knows. There's a clip under here, there's a plug under here for these switches, and there's wires to these tweeters. Like I said, this has all been done to death on the internet. There you go. I'm going to pop this back. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's stupid, but that's how it goes. I don't know why it's being from the inside, but I was doing it right, I just didn't want to let go. Alright, so there's that. Now the other piece is this plug here. Again, that is the way it's supposed to come out. And again, the plug don't want to let go. I'm doing it right. Just that these plugs are stubborn. Wow! Okay, I never expected any of that. That was a stubborn plug. Nothing wrong with it. Next step is going to be to take these pieces off. Body work. See if this will work. That's how I used to get the original piece off. So just come up under here. That took way too much time. That wasn't acceptable. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing over here. There you go. All right. That's actually a tool. Next piece I want to take off is this right here. It's basically 2 Phillips screws. Should come right out. That'll take that plastic shroud off. That'll expose it a little deeper. This beastie is layered. That was actually loose. So this should just pop right off, and it does. Got a clip right there. And the 2 screws that I just took off that I'm going to now put back in here. No, actually there's some other pieces in here. I'm going to take that off as well. And then I'm just going to put these screws back down on the ignition here. Alright, so little differences on the 2012 model to the older models. Because the older models, this was a complete shroud. So when you took this off, you took this whole piece off. This bike is broken down to where it's got this panel here that needs to come out separately from the 2 side panels. To do it is, there's 2 plastic screws in here. They're really not screws. They are fake screws. You just got to back them out a little bit, and they're push pins. Inside here are push pins as well, and these are more conventional to Honda themselves or Lexus, but you push these in, that's it. You push that in, that's it. Now those pins can come right out. They just basically fall out of there, which again means you need to watch it. So that's it. Once you push these in, it takes all the tension off of there. When you go to put them back in, you put it in like that, and then you push them, and they spread back out. Really neat. Actually, it's quite ingenious the way these pins work, because it allows them to be reusable without mauling them every time you need to take them out. Because a lot of the old pin styles, push pin covers, you maul them, you destroy them. So this piece here is a little different. You just back it out a little bit. See how that came right out? You're going to back that out a little bit. Comes right out. And you want to pull that out. I have a tool for that I'm going to use. Oh, let's try it. Back it in there. Pull that. Boom. Back it in there. Pull that. Boom. That's it. So those pieces come out. Next thing you got to do is you got to separate this to lift this up over it. See the tab right there? Separate that, lift that up over it, and then this should just come right up and out. I'm going to lift it from the back and then just kind of work its way out. This pin kind of wants to hang, but boom, there it is. Next step, I'm going to take this cubby out of here. So we're going to pop this open. All right, so there's other things I have in here. I have power capabilities. This is an auxiliary power line that I stuck a grommet in there. So I got to do a little bit of maneuvering in here to get this out. But for the most part, taking the cubby out of here, it's one of those push pins there, and there. And again, it's just, look at that. That's it. That one's a little stubborn. And I don't think it's the pin itself. I think it's the cubby, because that's an auxiliary plug that goes off in that way. So I think I'm going to need to lift this out at an angle, pull it out. I don't like the color coding on that wire. That's one. That's two. The cubby is out. Okay. Next piece I want to do is I want to start thinking about taking this piece out of here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is there's a cable in there that when you flip this door, you open that. And that's done over here. It's an open and closed door. It's just a cable operated. And to be honest with you, looking in there, that cable ain't even sitting in there right. So this has been apart before, probably for some sort of maintenance, but I'm going to make sure that's fixed properly. So I got to take this cable out. This is pretty simple. Just pop it, kind of work my way around, and there you go. Now, there's a nut here. Bolt, bolt, bolt. I'm only talking this side. Bolt, 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 bolt. Those all got to come out. I believe they're different sizes. So you got to make note of what you're doing. These are obvious. I think when you start doing these other bolts, they wind up being different sizes. So you got to be cognizant of that. And to be honest with you, that's pretty much the same on the other side. There is some nuanced differences on the other side, but we'll deal with that. These things got to come off. And that kind of just hooks. Just lift that up. It's that. None of this stuff is cheap if you break it, and if you wish you didn't. All right, so that's all the 10 mils. A 5. Was it a 5? It's a 5. Okay. Number 5. So let's go ahead and pop these two out. All right, so rather than I'm clumsy. I got fat fingers. So rather than me screwing around, I'm just going to get this. This is a dental tool, but it's also a magnet. Just makes life easier. I'm going to throw those in there. And white. Screw around. Yeah, that's a different size. That's smaller than that. Okay. That's got a pretty long shoulder too. Hold on. That's a tiny one. So those pretty much follow the same convention on the other side. Okay. One thing I was looking at was I need to take this whole piece out of here. Okay? I think it would just behoove me to take this piece out. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and, I'm not even sure how this comes out. I'm assuming it just pops out of here. And the reason, my mentality for that is, anyway, I'm going to be doing some maintenance. I can do a little cleaning, but I'll be able to pull. I'm going to take this and pull it out beyond that. That looks like it'll stay put, so I'll leave that there. It's my understanding that it's all clipped. From this point on, it's all clipped. So this piece is like that. So I'm going to just try to get it through the hole like that. So basically going to pull that out. I'm going to take that, shove it through the hole, get the radio in behind. This should just back right out of it. Look at that. There you go. Let's pull the other side out. The other side should be just as cooperative. Maybe. Oh, no, I got two things here. I got this thing that I probably want to deal with. There's a... Oh, it's one of these jobs. So we're just going to rock this back out of the way, pull that plug out. Yeah, that's pretty damn simple, huh? We do that, and then we do that, and then we're free. This piece is clipped. So I can pull that up and then pinch that. Pull that apart. Go ahead and pull this out. Oops. Pull this away first. Get that up. I'm gonna pull this out. Yeah. Look and see where we're hanging. Hanging really nowhere. There you go. Next piece I want to take off is this. Now there is stuff all strewn out in here. Underneath this is the air box. So I have a harness here. I don't need to take this out, but I got a harness here. And if I can pull that away, that's good. I got like a little dingleberry. Cable tie here that seems to be attached, so I probably wouldn't need to remove that. But this harness definitely attaches to this. Now there's a bolt here, there's a bolt here. If I lift that, there's nothing holding that, so that's free from here. So I got two there, and I got one here. And then there's one hidden in here, boy. Okay. I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to take this out just so I can free this little harness out of here. There you go. Now that's free. I'm just going to put this back in like that so it doesn't come out. There you go. And unclip the computer. Take the ECM, unclip it. Move it out of the way. I'm just going to drop that way down out of the way. So that's going to free that up. That's actually clipped. There you go. We pull this out, and that kind of frees that harness, which is irrelevant to this, and that. That's going to give me actually access to that bolt and that bolt. They're 10 mil. See, I was going to break my own rule. Always keep this around when you're doing stuff like this. technique I've developed with the magnet. It's because of the fact I got fat fingers. And when I was younger, I was quite hand-eye coordinated. And as I got older, I kind of lost some of that. Okay, so the 4 screws are out. So the snouts, the air inlets to the box are actually attached to this piece. And obviously everything is way buried up in there. This is in the way. It clips on the bottom somewhere. There it is. There's a clip. Jesus, you gotta be a freaking contortionist. Put that down and get this. There you go. And you pop the other one out. This now should come right out. And it does. This is the horn. This beastie needs to come out of here. So without further ado, we freed all of this up. We freed all that up. I'm going to lift this up out of here, I think. I'm going to lift this up out of here. There's a bunch of plugs in here. I think I'm just going to get them out. I'm just going to pull this thing out of here. It comes out. This thing is going to come out. This is going to come out. And that's it. Alright, so they're Phillips head screws. That one's mauled. That's already been hacked at. So that's telling me that there's already been a filter change on this bike. Use a socket on it. And first of all, they're on super tight. I'm just going to crack them loose, I suppose. That's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. And here's 7. It's my understanding these screws don't come out. They'll just loosen up to a point. Actually, I should probably pull this out. Some people like to take the sensor out. No, you don't screw with those sensors. They're sensitive. That's it. So she's free. Just lift this harness up out of the way. Try to pull this thing out. Ooh, that made a lot of noise. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, well, I'm going to take a break and do some cleaning. And then we're going to come up with a solution. Alright, as you saw, that thing was just a mess. Wow. I am surprised there was no damage from that on this bike, because it got through the air cleaner. If I look in there, it's kind of grungy. So I want to clean some of that up, because some of the stuff got through. So I'm going to use this vacuum, this brush, and I'm going to try to let me get some light in there. I'm going to do a solution. I've done this before because rodents suck, and I've done this before, and I'll show you my solution to this. Since it's first time down here, I had a suspicion. I get this mass airflow cleaner, sensor cleaner. I'm just going to shoot some down into that Venturi, because there's definitely some material there. And I don't know if those are coated. And if they're coated, I don't want to put anything harsh in there, so I'm just going to use this stuff. Okay, so I'd say that's about the best it's going to be. I just went in there with the vacuum, sprayed that cleaner in there, and it did one of two things. It went right back up into the thing after touching the Venturi, and it evaporated it dry real quick. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. That Venturi is not mint, but it's okay. I'm going to show you the solution for that. And I'm going to make sure this never happens again. It says top right there, but I know it's not right. This goes like this. That's it. Okay. Brand new. This filter wasn't that dirty. It just was 60% of it was clogged. 80% of it was clogged because it's all up inside there. Goodbye. So my solution. This is where they get in. These are the horns. They get in through here. I'm going to change gears into another mode of fabrication. I went to Home Depot. I'm sure any hardware store would do it. I picked this stuff up. Wasn't sure what to get. So basically what this is 1/2-inch opening. That no rodent's going to get through that. This is 1-inch opening, and until I visually see it, I would like to go with this because I don't want to put any restriction. I don't want to put any restriction on that. But I'm going to lay that over there, bend it over, and clean it up. We don't have any more issues. I've done this in the past with other motorcycles because when you leave them outside, and to be honest with you, this bike was not left outside. It was in an enclosed area for the winter, but something got in there. But I've never done the air filter, so this could have been in there the whole time I've owned the bike. I don't have the answer to that. So I'm going to take some of this off. I've got my snips. I'm going to cut a piece that's going to be much larger than that, and I'm going to put this screen over that, and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. Okay, so I got this cut. Now I'm going to cut this right here to a more manageable chunk. I'm going to take this and kind of rack it. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. And I'm going to kind of just start bending this thing around. Start bending this thing around until I get, just need a little bit. Probably should be wearing goggles. I didn't realize that stuff was going to go flying. So we're just going to bend that around like that. There you go. So now what do? Well, we got these big long buggers. I'm going to basically just put the cable tie around here just to hold them in place. And then I'm going to tape all the sharpness away from it. Okay. Not pretty, but it's going to do its job. Not pretty, but it's going to do its job. No more mousy mousies.